Hey there, it's Aaron. It is a little after 10:30 at night on October 28th, 2013, and I'm doing a second part here to my Lou Reed tribute, or going through all the albums that I have of the Velvet Underground and his solo career. Now, I have all the Velvet Underground studio albums except Squeeze. I don't count that one. But I will continue here and show now his solo career. And I'll be using my iPad, if you could tell by the light. I'm going to try and do this without the movie. Okay. Alright, I'm going to make this quick as possible. So the first of, in chronological order, the first of Lou's solo ones I have is obviously his best known, and I think it's his best, Transformer. Go. Yeah, that's probably the best it's gonna get. Yeah, great album. Obviously David Bowie and Mick Ronson produced this one, and it is just an amazing album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. Not just saying that, I have a list. I have like a Word document. This is probably my top 100. It's just a fabulous album. If I were to pick favorite songs, I'd probably pick Facebook notification. I would probably pick definitely Walk on the Wild Side, Vicious, Satellite of Love, Perfect Day. Every song on there is great. So Transformers great. Then there's Berlin. That one actually came out alright. The Picture. Berlin's a very good album. It did take me a while to get really into it. I remember getting it when I was at camp. We took a trip to the mall, and we would take trips to the mall, and I would always buy music. And that's when I got Transformer, but I got Transformer it was the same year, 2008, I got Berlin. And shortly after listening to Berlin, I was so depressed. It was just like the most depressing album ever, and I'm just like, and I can't play the cheeriest, happiest music ever, because it's a happy place, and I'm just like, load me up with the happiest songs ever. Berlin's a good album. It took me a while to get into it, because there's subjects that people don't want to hear about. Who's doing his job when he's, writing about things that are desperately heavy subjects? It's a concept album about two junkies, their relationship, and how they lose their kids, and how they lose everything. And it's a pretty powerful album, and Lou went back to the album about some 30 years later and decided to perform it live, or tour it live, and there's a movie of that. I've seen bits and pieces of, and it looks really, really good. So Berlin's a great album. My favorite song would probably be either Lady Day or the first part of Caroline Says. All of them are good. What else? The Kids is a good song, even though it's depressing. Like some of those kids, the kid in the song "The Kids," those are Bob Ezrin's kids, in case you don't know. And sad songs are pretty good, but yeah, Berlin's good. Okay, the one I forgot here is a live album, Take No Prisoners. I have that one. It's sort of a comedy album of sorts. It's Lou Reed performing live, and he's yelling at everybody, and he's got some of the best one-liners on that album. It's pretty hard to find on CD, I believe. It's pretty pricey, but there's the Facebook again. But definitely worth listening to. If you can find a physical copy of it, go ahead and grab it. It's a pretty funny album, surprisingly. Okay, the next I have The Bells. This one's okay. I like Stupid Man, Disco Mystic, is alright. I mean, I can't really. But there was one other song I was just looking back at this tracking list. Hold on here. There's one song that came to mind, something about Down Through the Night, or wait, looking it up. All Through the Night. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But other than that, it's a funny comment I read about this album. I read on a site called Read Your Music. Somebody just wrote in the review section, why does he sing like Adam Sandler on this album? It's a good question. So the Bells is okay. And the Blue Mask, 1982. This is a really, really good album. This is an album he made with guitarist Rob Quinn. He had Don Perry, who's of Jethro Tull. I don't know if he's in Jethro Tull, but he was later in Jethro Tull anyway. And he just made this really great album. And it was recorded live. Not like live as a live album, but with all the instruments at the same time being recorded. I guess that's what it means. And the Blue Mask is such a great album. My House is good. Women, even though it's very simple, Average Guy is good fun. The Day John Kennedy Died is amazing. And Waves of Fear. It's a great album. I think it's one of his best. And that was followed up with 1983's Legendary Hearts. It's pretty much the same band on the Blue Mask. And this one's good. I can't remember too many favorite songs that just popped out. Don't Talk to Me About Work is probably my favorite one. Somehow track I remember being good. Martial Law, Pow Wow, Rooftop Garden, or just I'm just saying names of songs by this point. But from what I can remember, it's a pretty good album. I'm listening to all. I've been having a Lou Reed marathon since I found out he died. The minute that he died, I've been having a Lou Reed marathon. So I'm getting there. I'll maybe I can post them up on here on YouTube. I don't know. Okay, and the next one I have is New York. This is put along with Transformer and it's it Berlin has one of his great albums, and I would agree. It's somewhat of a concept album, being that all the songs are about New York, where Lou's from, and it's just a really good album. Romeo Had Juliet is great. Dirty Boulevard, The Halloween Parade. What else is on there? Trying to think. I can't think of anything else. But the other one I really like, and I think it's my favorite song off the album, is Straw Man. Lou is just angry in that song. So I really enjoy New York. It's a great album. Okay, then 1990, I believe, that comes this album here that he did with John Cale, Songs for Drella, which was a tribute album to Andy Warhol, who had died not too long ago at that point. It was a while. I think he died in 87. Oh. Somebody commented about the album just now as I'm talking about it on Facebook. Somebody just commented on Facebook about it. It's a good album. I can't really again, like Legendary Hearts, I can't really remember songs that pop out except Small Town. Work is a good one. And the last song, Hello It's Me. It's a very beautiful tribute. It's sad too. And this led into a Velvet Underground reunion, which was very brief. And the next one I have is Ketchikan Moss. I heard some things about this album I didn't know before. It's sort of a concept. It's following a concept that what Lou was going on in that point in his life, like one of his great friends, I cannot remember the name of him, had died from cancer, and I mean a lot of his friends were dying. Andy Warhol was one of them. Nico died the year later, and he just reflected it on all of this on this one album. again, like Legendary Hearts, and I can't remember. There's not one song that pops out except maybe Sword of Damocles. Again, I gotta listen to this one again, but I can remember it's a good album. I mean, all the albums that I've had from Lou Reed are good. I mean, with the exception of The Bells, and maybe this one. I don't know. I'm in between with this next album. I don't even need the title's right on the cover, but Lou's last album that he ever did, and it's a shame that this is the last time he ever did. 2011's Lulu, which he did with Metallica. I thought this would be a good project when when you read on paper, Lou Reed and Metallica, there's some potential there, but then once you hear it, it's not so great. The tragic thing is that I think the original idea they had was to take Lou's lesser known songs or something like that and re-record them. That would have been a better idea. That would have been a much better idea if they just looked at some of his lesser known songs and then just re-recorded them. That probably would have been a better idea. But, Metallica got to play with Lou Reed. If they had a good time making the album, I think that's all that matters. For me, I'm in between with Lulu. I don't hate it like some people do. I think most of the people who hate Lulu are mostly Metallica fans. And to tell you the truth, if it's not your thing, then, you're entitled to your own opinion. But some people who commented on the album, or like saying all the negative comments about it, they don't have any good reasons behind their bad comments. They just want to hate for the sake of hating. When I wrote a review of the album, I tried to say it from the approach of, well, let's see, Metallica have had their share of bad albums. Lou Reed has had his share of bad albums. And I ended it with, Metallica fans go look at, Lou's stuff, and Lou Reed fans, go look at Metallica stuff. Again, Lou is 50-50. I really don't listen to this. I probably haven't listened to this album since around the time it came out, just almost 2 years ago. I think the two-year anniversary is coming up this Friday. Wow. What time? 2 years. But it's not as bad as people claim it to be. What else is on? Brandenburg Gates is okay. The View took me a while to get into. The whole I Am the Table. My favorite song off the album easily is Iced Honey. That's a really good song, and a really good combination of what happens when you put Lou Reed and Metallica together. If they had done more songs like Iced Honey, it probably would have been a better album. And I like some of the melodies in Junior Dad. Pumping Blood's good too. So it's iffy for me. I don't hate it like a lot of other people do, but the thing that's bad about it is this was the last thing he made. This is what he went out by. I motion to have another Lou Reed studio album. See if he's got anything in there in the vaults. Release it. Make it a good album. I don't know. But yeah, that's my Lou Reed collection. And if you have any suggestions as to what I should buy next, say them here in the description. Not the description, the comment section. If you've been watching both videos, thanks for watching. Thanks, and rest in peace.